Good evening, all the wonderful ladies and gentlemen all around the world. It's Monday at 6 p.m. and you are listening to KVRX 91.7 FM, and I'm your favorite host, Sadiq. Welcome to my new talk show, Nostalgic with Sadiq. Well, my new talk show is dedicated to all of you who take pride in recollecting childhood memories and treasure those wonderful moments of the past. Nostalgic with Sadiq is a celebration of nostalgia. And to pay tribute to those golden days of our past, we have a very special guest in my show today. She is a short story writer, an entertainment journalist, a marketing representative, an actor, a comedian, an ESL teacher, and last but not the least, the mother of a sweet little son, Alexei. She has been there and done it. And when I say been there, I mean places like Indiana, New York, California, Washington DC, Virginia, Maryland, Texas, Madrid, Munich. She has lived in all these places. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest of honor tonight is Michelle Henderson. Michelle, how are you doing?
Very good, thank you, Sadiq. That was a really nice welcome.
Okay, Michelle, it's my rare privilege to have you as my guest of honor tonight in my show. And there's a little token of welcome for you. Ah. Welcome to my show, Michelle.
Thank you.
All right, Michelle. Michelle, you have almost traveled to every part of USA and lived in so many places. Indiana, New York, California, Washington, Virginia, Maryland, Texas, Madrid, Munich. How does it feel like?
How does it feel?
Yeah.
Well, it feels like I'm well traveled.
Okay.
Indiana is where I'm from, so
okay.
I know that quite well. But yeah, I really enjoy traveling.
All right.
I like the experience of it.
Okay. So your roots are from Indiana?
Yes.
That is where you belong?
That's where I grew up. Let's put it that way. Yeah. It's hard to decide where I belong at this point.
Exactly. So there's a song from Boyzone called "This Is Where I Belong," where we belong. So you belong to Indiana.
Okay.
All right. Well, I mean, so many places. You've traveled to so many places, Michelle. I just cannot wait. I mean, I just want to ask you about your childhood. How was it? Like, so many places, so many things. I'm so jealous of you, Michelle. Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah. My childhood was pretty normal, I guess.
Okay.
Normal Midwestern childhood. I don't know if you know what that means, but I grew up in the suburbs.
All right. Okay, so which part of USA did you spend most of your time in? Which part?
In the Midwest growing up, and until I left school, left from college, and then I moved to New York.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So how was the transition from Midwest to New York?
It wasn't that difficult because I was going there in the summers. I had two brothers that were living there, so I would go and stay in the summers with them.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, but if I were to ask you, Michelle, of all the places that you have lived in, which one did you love the most?
I would have to say New York.
New York, wow!
Yes.
You know, recently I went to New York for the winter holidays, and it was an amazing place. I really loved it.
Were you in the city?
I was in New York City, yes.
Yes, it's fantastic.
It's fantastic. So many people, so much crowd, so much energy. It's like amazing. I really loved that. Yeah.
It truly is. When they say it has the worst and the best of everything. It's true.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
And what I found really interesting was that it's for people of all stratas of the society. There are rich people, there are beggars, and there are, I mean,
and all cultures.
All cultures,
all
700 languages being spoken.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I was there in the Times Square during the New Year, and I enjoyed it. It was like, I think you should go to New York once.
I think everyone should.
Yeah,
I think everyone should. It's true. Yeah.
And you've been very lucky to be there, stayed there. Yeah. Okay. Well, Michelle, you are an actor and a comedian. Like, how did it all begin?
Well, I feel like that's more past tense because right now I'm a PhD student, and that takes and a mother, and that takes most of my time. But acting was just something I loved, and I liked doing it when I was an undergrad. But my father just said, no, I'm not going to have that as your undergraduate major. I'm not going to pay for that. So after I graduated from college and when I went to New York, I was enrolled full-time in a theater school.
Okay. So as a child, were you very much into acting, like mimicking, doing things and all, voiceovers?
Not as much as I would think, but my mother had me involved in a lot of different classes, both for theater and music and ballet and French, and so I think she was hoping something would happen.
No, it did. You did. You did so many things, acting and all.
Well, it developed my love for it, definitely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, did you act in a number of plays and films?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did plays, and I did very, very tiny roles, and mainly walk-on roles in some films as well.
Okay. Can you just tell us something about the films and the plays that you did?
Yeah, the Malcolm X film.
Oh, okay.
And also a film that had Janet Jackson. It was called Poetic Justice.
Yes, Poetic Justice, I remember.
Yeah,
So you were there?
Yes.
Oh, wow, great.
Yeah, it's not as exciting as it sounds.
Why? Why is it
Well,
so?
because, anyone who's worked with films knows that there's just a lot of time where you just sit around waiting.
Exactly.
And
for the stars to come.
Yeah, you sit around for hours and hours and
Exactly,
hours, and then they take you on a bus somewhere and you sit again and again. So that's a lot of it.
Exactly. And I also heard that the sets are not as clean as they look like. They're really dirty and things like that.
I don't remember about that. I just remember that there's a lot of time where you're sitting there trying to read a book or talk to your other people there waiting.
Exactly. So you carried your books to the sets.
I would carry one book, definitely. Yeah.
Okay. So you were doing two things at the same time, acting as well as
No.
studying.
No. When I was reading the book, I was just waiting to be called.
Okay.
So that's it. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So talking about your childhood, which school did you go to?
In terms of high school, or
yes,
I went to
as a preliminary schooling.
Elementary
child,
school.
yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
I went to a school called Grandview Elementary.
Okay.
Which was a public school.
Okay. So how were you as a child? Were you very good, very naughty, very...
I think I was pretty good. Everyone has some naughtiness, I guess,
Okay.
but I was a good student.
And you got A's in everything?
Of course.
Really?
No, I don't remember. I was a really good student, though.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
It's hard to remember what my
And
grades
did
were.
you do all your homeworks in time and all, everything?
In time? Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think my mother forced me to. So,
Yeah, that's something that every mother does, and they don't understand.
Yeah, you
That
gotta
we need to
do
play.
it.
We need to go out and play.
That's right.
Yeah, and the playground keeps us calling. Come on.
That's right.
Come on,
That's
yeah.
right. Plus, I had, as I said, I had piano lessons, so I had to practice an hour a day.
Okay. Well, and were there any naughty things or things that you like to tell our listeners that you did as a child, and you feel like?
Well, I don't remember that being that naughty as a grade school student, to tell you the truth. But I think when most people start being kind of naughty is when they get older.
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
so
yes.
by the time I was in junior high and high school, even though I was a student that went to school all the time, I can remember one point skipping school with my best friend, so we could go and eat at a restaurant of all things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these little things kept on happening, as a child,
Sometimes they happen.
Yeah.
Sometimes they happen. Yeah.
And do you relish recollecting them now?
It's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that is what our show is all about. It's about nostalgia. It's about celebrating nostalgia. And we are talking to Michelle, and we'll be back in a moment after a short break. Please don't go away. Stay tuned and stay nostalgic. Thank you.